Coming up on this week's episode, FSANA International Flight School Operators Conference on schedule for March. Following a deadly plane crash, NTSB thinks instructors need greater scrutiny. Also, AeroSport Sport Pilot Flight School expands. Welcome to Airborne-Flight Training, a weekly program dedicated to all things flight training, from student pilots taking on their first flights to the new commercial pilot getting ready to take on their first flying gigs, as well as the amazing industry built around all of this. No segment is more important to the growth of the aviation community than the flight training community. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Kimberly Kay. We have a packed episode today filled with the latest news in flight training. So let's start with, mark your calendars, FSANA International Flight School Operators Conference scheduled for March. The flight school business is one of the few that seems both intent and surprisingly successful, surviving even during a pandemic. As such, the community is readying a critically important get-together to take notes and learn from each other, as well as a great lineup of speakers and instructors in just a few more weeks. Flight school operators, chief flight instructors, and persons considering opening a flight school should take special note of the upcoming International Flight School Operators Conference. Attendees will have over 25 multi-track sessions to choose from during mornings and afternoons on March 4th and 5th. Vendors, suppliers, government agencies, and professionals from the training industry are present to share tools, resources, and strategies for doing business in the field of flight training. The mentoring sessions on Wednesday afternoon, entitled "I Am New Here and Starting a Flight School," is intended for conference registrants who are interested in starting or who have just started a new school. Some of the most successful school owners and managers in the industry will be on hand to inspire and give advice. And yes, ANN will be there, so see you then. After these messages, leisure flying restricted in UK. I'll tell you why after the break.
Aviation's #1 safety equipment manufacturer. New ELTs and safety products that activate life-saving rescues across the world. ELTs and safety products for every type of aircraft. General aviation, business jet, rotorcraft, commercial aircraft. Easy installation, affordable pricing, safety and reliability. Visit www.artex.com to view our selection of ELTs and safety products today. Artex, your best last chance.
Are you ready to ace your FAA drone pilot knowledge test, get your remote pilot certificate, and start earning money? Well, flying a drone is a great tool that can open up new business opportunities for anyone. Realtor, insurance adjuster, videographer, or commercial weekend drone warrior, you need to fly legally. Whether you're pursuing your initial Part 107 remote pilot certificate or you need a renewal, King Schools has a course just for you. So start learning today at kingschools.com.
I believe that if people use the landing doctor training program, they will have less accidents and eventually their insurance will go down and they will make a superior pilot. We do personal limitation checklists, which is the most important reason you need to fly with limits. We do ground proximity awareness training, and we do this with a crosswind. We've been operating 6 Bristells for 2 years without one insurance claim. The Landing Doctor program is working, and you're going to hear more about it.
Welcome back. With so much news coming out of the aviation training industry, we're going to be summarizing some other shorter but interesting stories in this brief segment we call Around the Patch. GA heavily restricted in UK due to national lockdown. Following the national lockdown in England, the Department for Transport has issued further guidance for general aviation in England this past week. National lockdown rules apply in England. For GA, this means no leisure flight permitted. GA flying is only permitted for the purpose of work, where it is not reasonably possible to work or provide those services at home. Flying training organizations providing training for professional pilots for the purposes of work may continue to do so. Individuals undertaking such activity may continue to attend for those purposes. Social distancing measures must be in place and observed at all times. Educational UAS protections become law. AMA has updated the status of a number of their ongoing initiatives, with emphasis this time on educational UAS programs. The National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year 2021 has become law. This new law is important to the model aviation community because it includes an educational provision that permits operations as part of an educational program that is chartered by an organized community-based organization such as AMA. University-level UAS operations, such as University Model Aviation Student Clubs, will continue to be permitted with CBO programming or as a standalone UAS program. Duncan Aviation wants to hire summer interns. Duncan Aviation has 33 student summer internships opportunities at the company's 3 full-service facilities in Battle Creek, Michigan, Lincoln, Nebraska, and Provo, Utah. These paid internships allow students to learn more about the company and explore possible career paths in business aviation service and support. Internships listed on the company's career page are being offered in airframe, engine, install, and interior production departments. The United States Air Force KC-135 training system contract goes to CAE USA. The United States Air Force has awarded CAE USA a contract to continue providing comprehensive KC-135 training services. The 8-year contract, awarded as a 1-year base contract with 7 additional 1-year option periods, is valued at a total of more than $275 million. CAE USA recently won the recompete of the United States Air Force KC-135 Aircrew Training System contract and will continue providing training to more than 4,500 KC-135 crew members annually. Well, that does it for today's trip around the patch. Now let's return to the rest of the news. After more than 10 people died in a plane crash, the NTSB thinks instructors need greater scrutiny. Citing inadequate training of a pilot whose plane crash resulted in 11 deaths, the NTSB has called on the FAA to better monitor the effectiveness of flight instructors. 3 safety recommendations were issued during the NTSB's ongoing investigation of the June 2019 Hawaiian crash of an airplane on a parachute jump flight. The pilot and all 10 passengers died in that crash. In the safety recommendation report, reference the FAA's Aviation Instructor's Handbook, which states the goal of the flight instructor is to teach each learner in such a way that he or she will become a competent pilot. The NTSB said, in regard to the Makulea accident pilot, the flight instructor did not achieve that goal. The NTSB found the Mokulea accident pilot had failed 3 initial flight tests in his attempt to obtain his private pilot certificate, instrument rating, and commercial pilot certificate after receiving instruction from a single instructor. The Mokulea accident pilot was not alone in his failed attempts. The pass rate for other students taught by the same instructor was 59% for the 2-year period ending in April of 2020. The NTSB asked the FAA to develop a system to automatically alert its inspectors of flight instructors whose students' pass rates fall below 80%. After these messages, AeroSport Sport Pilot Flight School expands. Those details after these messages.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Swift Fuels proudly introduces the Forever Avgas STC. One simple upfront purchase entitles the Forever STC certificate holder to receive all current and future Avgas STCs that the FAA issues to Swift Fuels. The best part? It's priced today at only $100, and the prepaid certificate never expires. Get your Forever Avgas STC today at swiftfuelsavgas.com.
Affordable and economical, Pipistrel is proud to present the Alpha Trainer. The aircraft can use as little as 2.5 gallons per hour in a flight school setting, with multiple students and instructors each day. This means that 13.2 gallons of fuel can effectively give you as much as 5 hours of endurance. Learn more about what the Pipistrel Alpha Trainer can do for you at pipistrel-usa.com.
Welcome back. AeroSport has opened a hangar at Mustang Point Aerodome on the DeLand, Florida Airport campus, shared with Rachel's Jewelry. AeroSport plans to offer light sport maintenance and are in the process of opening a flight school that will feature the BushCat Light-Sport aircraft for training. Initial training efforts will concentrate on LSA sport pilot training, but will probably extend to private pilot training at some future time as well. AeroSport also offers avionics sales, light sport maintenance, and is a dealer for both the affordable BushCat BlackHawk Paramotors and the Sling Sport Plane series. AeroSport has been in business for nearly 10 years as U.S. distributor of the BushCat Light-Sport aircraft and dealer of the Sling aircraft. They specialize in most anything light sport, and so they decided to stay warm and expand their maintenance and flight training services in Florida. AeroSport assembles all factory-built BushCat aircraft out of their own facility in Wonder Lake, Illinois, and will continue to do so. Well, that does it for our show today. I'm your host, Kimberly Kay. You can catch episodes of Airborne on Roku and Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne in the directory. And don't forget to follow us on social media and feel free to comment with story suggestions or just to say hi. We'll see you next time.